Well, hello there. This is Louis, aka Louis the French Monette, and you're watching Schmoedown Night in Canada. Hey, this is the tournament special, singles tournament special. With me, as per usual, I got my two boys, Dave, Soda. How are you today?
I'm doing good, Lou. Ready to talk some Schmoedown brackets.
And boy, do we have a lot to talk about. The bracket just came out. There's a lot of interesting matchups that, what's the point? They're just going to get to the finals anyways type of thinking. So let's just go start with this conversation. First off the bat, I want to do a little round here. I want to know what are our top three most anticipated matches. Let's start with you, Soda.
Okay, well, the first match that I have chosen as one I'm looking forward to is Paul Preston versus Eric Zipper.
One of mine.
Yeah, I should have known because, Zipper, he is your best friend after all. No, the reason why I chose that as a must-see is because Zipper had a really great showing in the Inner Geekdom. He's shown his skill has improved quite a bit. And he revealed at the end of his loss to Kalinowski that Inner Geekdom wasn't his passion. It's actually the singles league. So, take the confidence that he gained from how well he did that, plus his trading tactics that he has. I'm interested to see how well he does against Paul Preston, who hasn't played in a while, but we do know he is pretty damn good on singles competition.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And, not to toot our own horn, but he did not reveal it at the end of this match. He revealed that he was very interested in singles in my interview with him. Thanks for watching the show, Soda.
Hey, man, my memory is hazy. I remember things I don't want to remember, and I forget things I do want to remember.
That's fair.
Sorry, even I forgot.
Huh? Who are you two again?
But
you're different. You're different. You're on diaper duty.
I've just taken
too many hits to the head.
I totally agree with you to bring this back on track. These are two guys who I think have both shown great acumen in the singles league. I think back to the last season in the tournament with Paul Preston versus Ben Bateman, and that is one of the underrated matches of last year.
Correct.
You see, and even when you watch his match, he's only played the one time with Tom and Paul this season, but he played very well in that match. And Zipper and Stacey Howard is still my match of the year, so I think this is really going to be one to watch out for.
Oh, 100%. What do you think, Lou, on the match?
I'm really curious to see the evolution of Eric Zipper because Paul Preston, you never count him out. It's been 2 years. I still going to put money on this guy usually, but something about Zipper's transformation in a geekdom, the way he carried himself, and might also put the pressure of the dungeon needs this. He needs him to perform. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to almost take the leader's position and carry the team on his shoulders. That being said, I don't think he's going to be able to do it. But if he does, I'll be so happy for him because dungeon needs a leader right now.
Yeah.
Totally,
you're 100% right. There's nobody. I can't remember where I heard this. It might have been at the end of one of the at the end of the last Inner Geekdom match there. But Corruption really doesn't have any strong single players. They're strong in IG, but they're not strong in teams and singles. So
you mean the dungeon?
This should be interesting.
You mean dungeon?
Again. Kids, don't do drugs.
Nope. and don't have kids.
Yeah. Just okay. Ignore me. Anyways, on to the next one.
Oh yeah, we're all tired. Okay, so if you don't mind, I'll go to mine. My first pick. It's gonna be Brendan Meyer versus Alonso Duralde.
God damn, I'm running our matches.
Yeah, that was my second one too.
All right. There's something about this. I don't know, like Meyer was so impressive the way he evolved and even probably almost, I find in my opinion, slightly surpassed the teacher, Bibiani. He really came on his own. And Alonso Duralde is one of those guys, he has so much knowledge, but was stuck with a partner who didn't really care to understand the game. So he never really evolved. But now having a manager, he might be something dangerous because if he watched a bit more and got a bit more of a discipline with the coaches, and he evolves. This is a scary combination. Duralde, even his partner Cybolt said he's better than me, and Cybolt's pretty good. So I can't wait to see what happens with those two.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and you look at the NYC season opener that he played in, the triple threat with the Beast and Dan, and he was one horror question away from beating Dan. If he doesn't give up a 2-point steal in the second round, he plays Ben in Atlanta, not Dan. Maybe he's the champ right now. We just don't know. He is someone who has, I think, the skill and the ability to go very far in this league, and he's Canadian.
Yeah,
there you go.
100. So he's got that going for him, but also it's another thing. COVID gives him time to study. Now gives them both time to study. But yeah, you're right. It's that's what it comes down to, is how well having a manager will help Duralde in his singles run. He won't have anybody else to rely on, and can the kid build on that match that he had? Because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that his only match this year?
Yes, that was his only match this year.
Yeah, so I mean, I want to see how well he can build on that amazing performance against the champ.
Who do you think is going to win?
I think it's Brendan Meyer.
Yeah, the same here.
I'm going Duralde.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Duralde win either. Like, there's no lose for me here. It's just like it's a pick 'em.
In your mind, it's going to be like the last question type of situation?
It's going to come down to the wire. Oh, for sure.
See,
a lot of these matches are.
I am in disagreement of you guys. There's a reason I have not brought up Duralde as of yet, and I think I put Duralde into the same category as a Matt Atchity, who has a lot of knowledge. But if you asked Alonso Duralde about strategy in the game, I don't know that he has anything to add. Whereas the kid, Ben Bateman, has often compared him to himself and saying that there are things the kid's saying about this game that even shock me. Someone who many tout as the greatest strategist in the game currently. And I think that may be the thing that ultimately sinks them. And I don't know if, given an opponent's choice, if Duralde will have the knowledge to give him anything bad.
Agree.
Now, here's the thing.
Agree, but manager. Do you have managers? Do you have time to evolve?
But here's the thing. The Droogs have changed managers. They went from Robert Meyer Burnett to Ken Knapsack. So I wonder if that's going to maybe have an effect.
Yeah, exactly. Ken Knapsack is a student of the game. He's not the best player ever, but his experience with commentating and analyzing and having a podcast on his own gives him.
And he's been there from the beginning too.
Exactly. So again, yes, I understand. Like the Raleigh of the past, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
But if Ken Knapsack does his job and preps his guys, there's a reason why he chose the Raleigh. If I don't think Ken Knapsack would have put the Raleigh in the tournament if he didn't feel like he can understand the game well enough.
Oh, fair enough. That's the thing. There's things that we will never know that we don't know about these guys. So there's definitely a reason why he was chosen.
Yeah.
All right. What about yours, Dave? The one that's left.
I had a feeling that we were gonna have some overlap, so I picked 6 matches that were potentials. So So my first match that I want to talk about is Video Drew versus Mark Riley.
Okay.
This is one that I am very excited for, just on the back of Mark Riley is a guy who had so much fire in front of him this season and was probably the person affected by COVID just in terms of momentum the most, because he was coming off a win with Who's the Boss. He handily beats Janine, showing that he is not being passed by. But then you look at Video Drew, and she is someone who last season was maybe overshadowed by Tom, but still played very, very well. And also, she's just going to be fun, and I want to see what she's going to do with a more someone who's going to give back to her with the same kind of energy, because she's not weird. He's not weird like her, but he is always down to do the bit and I think this is just going to be an entertaining match, even if it's. And I think it could be competitive, and we could see a Stacey Howard, Mark Riley situation like we saw in the Mark Riley situation that we saw in the tournament a couple years ago.
Okay. Now, question: if Riley loses this match, or he loses in the next round, you think that's it for him?
I was about to say the same thing. Yeah.
You think he's done?
Yep.
I don't think so. I think as long as who's the boss,
done in singles.
No, I think as long as who's the boss is together, I think Ben, having someone that driven on your team, I think motivates you to want to do better. And Riley's talked about that. I think it will be harder for him to get into a position, but I don't think we will have seen the last of him.
Okay.
I think it's actually quite the contrary. I think Riley has an integrity to him that if he feels that he's not into it as much as he was before, it's not fair to Bateman. That Bateman should find someone that's going to bring him to the championships and not drag him. If he starts losing, I think Riley might actually do the contrary and not let his ego saying we're the best team, we're a good team. Like if he realizes he's preventing Bateman to accomplishing the things he needs to because he's not on the same level, he might actually just give up.
Now, see, I'm falling in the middle of you two. I think if Riley loses this match or the next round, he's done in singles. He's going to hang his head, throw his head, end it there, but he's going to stick around in teams for a while. That's what I think he's going to do.
And what does this say to you? Like, if Video Drew wins, is she back into some people's radar, or it might have been just like a fluke?
If she beats the former champ, of course she's going to be on everybody's radar.
Yeah, I don't think she ever, to be fair, I don't think it's possible that Video Drew ever left anyone's
Cuckoo's
radar.
Had some echoes, right? I kind of lost like my interest of Video Drew when I saw like okay, was this like a one shot rare gem of like an odd
Yeah, with Cuckoo's Nest, I was trying to capture lightning in a bottle for a second time, and unfortunately, that rarely ever happens.
Yeah. All right. What's your second pick, Soda?
Okay, this is my last pick because Myron Duralde was my other one. It is Jeff Snyder versus Robert Montano.
Okay.
Because I'm curious to see which version of Snyder we're going to get this tournament. If we're going to get the Patriot Snyder or the, 70s, I quit Snyder. And he's facing someone who hasn't had a match like outside of the free-for-all in a fairly decent while. So I'm interested to see, if there's any rust factor in Robert Montano's game. So that's why I'm curious in this one, is just to see what we're going to get.
I personally, I think this is Jeff Snyder's match to lose. As much as Montano was fun to see and everything, he never really impressed me. There's also almost like this, I don't know, like do good attitude, but never can really deliver properly with Robert Montano. And Jeff Snyder, like if he doesn't give up, he can definitely win. But again, like there's no momentum for the Rockstars, and I don't know. Snyder's another one of them that should consider if he doesn't win this tournament, just let it go.
Yeah, and we all know he has it in him because there's a reason he made it to a championship match in New York last year.
Yeah, but a lot can change in a year, right?
That is true. But on the flip side, we are not that far removed from that match.
True.
And I will say, probably one of my favorite entrances because he walked in with Ace Frehley's New York Groove, and I'm a big Kiss fan, so I was, I was happier than a pig in shit on that one.
I am 100% the other way, and I think this is going to be the upset of the tournament where Robert from Late to the Party is going to embarrass Jeff Snyder.
Oh yeah,
Lou, you're talking about never impressed. You're not impressed with 3 out of 5 matches going perfect in the first round. That doesn't impress you.
Okay, how can I say this? Maybe
I think it's more personality. Well,
but there's also that. But there's times he slipped, right? There's certain pressure moments he didn't seem to be able to handle properly, I find. And if he had a couple matches between like his last match and got back to the rink, and it's not live anymore, right? It's not like in a studio. I mean, it's by camera. There's so much different circumstances, and having a manager and this and that is so different that he didn't press me in the past. He didn't give me anything to be excited about between then, and then boom, he just appears in the tournament. So I'm not on the train.
Honestly, I think this format is actually going to be a plus for Montano. I think it's going to do him good.
Yeah, very similar to how we saw Chance Ellison and Robert Parker excel in the IG tournament. I think this is a person who does a lot of stuff, was doing a lot of stuff on camera from his home already, where Jeff Snyder, he may be more comfortable and wanting to have that. He is definitely a guy who feeds on the aura of the crowd, how he's getting up and walking around. And I think that is, and he won't have Roxy just off camera yelling, stay in it. That only happens in between rounds. I really think this will be Robert's match to win. And it's exciting. It's exciting to see him come back here, because we haven't, even in his the match with the Wildberries, he was entertaining, and I've always been impressed by late to the party.
Yeah. Now, see, my thing is Snyder is a born performer, so I'm interested to see just how much of that he can bring to this. But yeah, you're 100% right on the head there, Dave. He feeds off the crowd. He's definitely the consummate performer, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how the lack of the crowd, the lack of energy, is gonna affect him.
Yep. Well, it's gonna be an interesting one. The banter is gonna be interesting too, right? Like,
oh yeah,
I wonder if Montano worked on his character, or like a version of himself but heightened, or is he gonna stay the same person we saw before?
Well, here's the thing. This is something I've learned from professional wrestling. The best characters are the ones who play themselves, just heightened a little bit.
Yeah.
So if Montano can just get that, he'll be fine.
All right. Do you have anything else to say, Dave?
No. He's got Sam in his corner, so I believe in him.
All right. So on to mine, if I'm not mistaken. My next choice is the Barbarian versus Whitney Seibold.
I almost picked that one.
It's on the list.
Not anymore.
For me, this is a head scratcher. Whitney Seibold's my boy. I love the guy to death. He's very underrated. He won me over. There's something about his tenacity and the love of the game, and his last performance as well, that really gives me hope. But the Barbarian is on a run. He is probably one of the most exciting else than like Parker and maybe someone else is slipping my mind. One of the rookies that really impressed me the most. So I don't know who to choose, but I know it's going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tough go. This is probably going to be the match in the first round that'll probably have you on your seat the most. That'll probably be the most. I don't want to say emotional, but definitely the one with the most stakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I think this will be a real... We're going to see what Whitney Seibold is really made of here, I think. Because we saw him the only other time we've seen him play singles was when he played against Brendan Meyer last year in the tournament. And not a great showing there. And I think that's why he's talked with you in your interview, Lou, about how he's very much a teams player and he likes doing the teams format.
So that's why I was surprised when I saw his name on him. I'm like, okay, maybe he changed his mind or got convinced, or maybe didn't have a choice,
Well, the Droogs don't have exactly, after trading away people like James White and Ethan Irwin, they don't have that much of a deep roster. So you really got to look at who they do have, and Whitney really falls into their number one guy, probably.
Yeah, and I have a question for you then. If you feel like they're such in disarray, right? Who's in more disarray right now? Dungeon or the Droogs?
I think Dungeon for sure, because I don't think given the way the IG tournaments shook out differently than they were probably hoping it would, they don't like Eric Zipper is their strongest singles player probably, and that he's a 1-in-1 player, and we don't have a lot to go off there. Whereas, and they don't have any teams currently that are poised to do well, and they'll probably be in a play-in game when the teams tournament comes around. So the Dungeon, I really think, will end up being dead last at the end of this season.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Dave. Though, like, really, the Dungeon pretty much bet all their money in the IG tournament, and they lost. They rolled snake eyes.
Now they still have. Okay, sorry.
I was gonna say, now as opposed to the Droogs, they've been a shit show all year, and they still come out smelling like roses. So I mean, so I honestly, I think Corruption is probably the one that is more in trouble, which sucks because I like the guys on the team, but that's
Dungeon
just
soda.
You do not know the difference between the Dungeon and Corruption, do you?
No, I don't. Damn, well, they're practically run by the same managers, except one's pretty,
Shannon
and the other one's Shannon. No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna cut that so we can maybe get them on the show at some point. God damn it, Soda.
I'm kidding. Sorry, I meant Dungeon. Dungeon's probably gonna be the one that's gonna be not in a good position at the end of all this.
All right, so
Yeah.
I got a relaxed brain, so sometimes it doesn't function well.
Yeah.
So Dave, go ahead. What's your second pick?
My second pick is actually one of the play-in games, and it's James White versus Frank Moran.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
James White is a guy who, I don't talk about it a lot here, but I've done some fan league play, and he's a guy who I've been aware of for since in my time there. The two of us never crossed paths because I'm not a singles guy, but he went second, and if you remember how soon in the draft he got to go, he got picked like 16th overall, which is insane when Roka went 45th or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But
Fourth
anyway,
round, Roka.
Yep. But James White is a guy who's been touted. He's had everything, and I know he has it in him. But then free agency, Frank Moran is talked about by Harloff. He's talked about by Bateman. He's talked about by Roka. Talked about by Winston as this guy that we can't believe never got drafted. We can't believe he was so good. And then I went back and I watched his matches and I watched his free for all performance, and I'm like, oh shit, this guy's actually he should have got picked up in place of like not to throw shade, but like a JTE. He should have got picked up in that spot probably.
GT with more name recognition.
I think this may be when I look at a lot of the other play-in matches, I don't have that same level as excitement, but when I look at that, I'm like, there's really something there where this could be one of the standouts of the tournament.
Okay. I don't have anything to add to that just because I've never seen them compete before, so I really don't have anything to add.
I heard about Frank Moran as well, and James White. I've been excited about him for a little while because, Robert Meyer Burnett was criticized early on, like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? You're crazy!" And he kept doing crazy moves, but it kept working, and like it wasn't perfect, but he was surprising. So it made me think, like, what if James White is a lot better than a lot of people are saying? Now, is he going to be the Barbarian surprise rookie? No. Is he going to go to the finals? No. But is he going to be someone to look forward to next year and maybe taking seriously, not just, he was off his rockers drunk and drafted you be different, right? I think he's going to show a lot of people that he's a lot better than they expect.
Okay, I have a question for you because you just said the whole rookie thing. If a rookie were to win this tournament and they didn't have any other matches prior to this, do you think they're a lock for Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it would depend on how deep the Barbarian got into the tournament. Because based on what you just said, it's excluding him. I think if the Barbarian was to make it to let's say the semifinals of the singles tournament, with a successful inner geekdom run, and based on ways things have been talking about, there's potential that him and Sabrina may be in the teams tournament together. It could be an interesting thing if he's another 3-league player and he does well in all 3 leagues. That may be more than one person winning the tournament.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
It depends also the wow factor, right? If that person has to eliminate and do the upsets of the year, like every match is almost like a match of the year contenders. Yeah, there's a chance. But yeah, there's now that, Ben Goddard has shown his weakness.
Yeah.
Parker has. My heart still bleeds. That was so hard to swallow. Like, damn it, I'm not right. I went on a Parker train for no reason. Like, those two are kind of like out of contention in my mind for Rookie of the Year, right? Because they stopped too early. So it's pretty much the Barbarians' title to lose.
Wait a second. There's one person we're forgetting in there. That's Ace Cabrera.
He is not a rookie.
This is his rookie year.
No, it's not.
And Star Wars, yeah.
Is he not?
No, it's not. He played in the teams tournament, and Harloff did a whole Facebook video where he mentioned Ace not being a rookie.
Okay, so in that case, Barbarians the only contenders for now, right? Okay. We still have to see in the tournament. Yeah.
There's if the commission says it's so, it's so.
Hell,
make it so.
All we know, Vinny Mancuso wins the tournament, and we're all shocked, right? So you don't know what's gonna happen.
Who knows?
Hey, that's the beauty. And like I was talking to a friend about like the hockey format, because this really is a similar format to this for the Stanley Cup playoffs. Everyone's coming in on pretty much at 100%. You're going to see a lot of upsets, and you can probably see a surprise win the damn thing.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's jump to the last pick for Soda. What you got?
I don't have Snyder Montana. Like all my picks were taken. I wasn't like Dave, and I didn't pick any extra ones.
Well, I'll talk about mine. Try to find another one if there's something pops up finally. But I'll go to mine. Yep. It's going to be Tim Franco versus Tom.
Oh
yeah.
And for the pure simple reason of I can't wait to see Tom destroy someone else again. I miss that. I miss seeing his character. I miss seeing him completely swallow whole and like destroy competitors. And Tim Franco is a cool guy. It was interesting when we saw him, but it's really for Tom. Tom's a selling point. He died out. It was very early in the season. An upset, but still an amazing performance by Tom's first appearance of the season. But he's not done yet. And I think we're going to see an even better Tom than we did before. And I really hope that he advanced his knowledge, but also his character work. I would love to also see a pop-up cameo of Paul Preston during the intro for Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Similar to Robert Montano versus Jeff Snyder, I could not be farther off in my thoughts about this match. I think Tim Franco is going to destroy Tom.
Wow.
I think if you listen, so you see Tom, again, I've been doing some homework because I had some time off. So I went back, and Tom is a very solid round one player. But there's a lot of times where I feel like Video Drew picked up the slack in rounds 2 and 3. And I also think he was exposed in that Tom and Paul match. Not knowing the composer of Gladiator is like that's a very famous movie. That's an easy, most people, if it's a round one scores and soundtracks question. I know that that's a big weakness for a lot of people, but that really shows it. Also, if you listen to people like Frank Janisch who have heard things and are saying maybe Tom actually isn't as committed to this as we all thought. It's like, you're talking about maybe he's taken his game up. I think someone like a Paul Preston, who we've seen on all these different after shows this entire time, definitely has. But I would be curious how invested Tom has stayed.
No, fair. That's a very good point. I never thought to take any of that into consideration.
And Tim Franco, every time he plays, is impressive. We haven't seen him a lot because he's an out-of-state guy, but his match against Matt Atchity very impressive. TKO, and Matt actually is thought about as like a pretty good mid-tier player. Could be great if he ever learned the rules of the game.
And if he was younger, according to him.
According to him, yeah. And his time with Crimson Fury, he took out loose cannons, which was Paulo Yama and Eric Zipper, and they were looking to be the Cinderella story of that entire tournament last year.
I never found they fit properly. I never liked that team.
Agree to disagree.
Okay.
But I think Tim Franco's accuracy is up there with Chance. And Tom has some stellar numbers, and no one can ever take that away. But I don't know if he's going to be able to translate that into singles play. I think he is a strong teams player, though.
All right.
Fair enough.
Like Soda said, fair enough. It definitely makes sense. There could be a big upset. I think it's my heart saying I want Paul to win. I want Tom to win because it's been so long, and I would love to have Tom's back to back because he's like comfort food. There's something about that character. It's like I'm at home. So
not to mention Parker broke your heart.
How many bodies will Tom, if Tom goes all the way, how many bodies will he find along the way?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Yeah, he probably needs a whole bunch of souls to whatever project he's doing right now. But again, it's gonna be an interesting one to see. But I really want Tom to win because what I'm afraid of, like, what I loved about Schmoedown is the characters, right? And what with all these newbies into the tournament, I just hope it doesn't become sterile and feels a bit like the fan leagues where it's less character driven. I really hope there's certain pops of like Lon Harris, and we get these fun, entertaining moments, and not just people here to play and then go away. You know, it's going to keep it balanced, in my opinion.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, I do have a third match now.
Okay,
Liz Shannon Miller versus Rachel Silverstreeny.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I picked that one because Liz Shannon Miller has been touted as being better than Ethan Irwin, and we haven't seen that yet. And we all know how Rachel has performed in the past, but now she's got, someone who actually cares. Well, I don't want to say care, but a good player as her partner, Ben Goddard, and she's got a dedicated manager behind her. So I'm interested to see how well that's going to propel her into the singles tournament. So this is going to be an interesting match of potentials, if you get my drift. Like to see which one of these two will live up to their potential, to the hype.
I agree. I'm very excited, and mostly it's for Liz Shannon Miller. She is someone who, she was similar to the kid earlier this season. She was a couple questions away from beating Paulo Yama and playing against Dan Murrell for the belt. Then we saw her earlier this season with Rogue 2, where she was definitely the A player on that team. She does not seem to have missed a beat. If anything, she's gotten stronger. And I'm excited to see another strong female presence in the league. Not that Rachel Silverstreeny isn't that. I think she's very good for the league, but on more of a character level, I don't know if she has the gameplay to back up a win against Liz Shannon Miller.
Dave, you are the yin to my yang. I could not disagree with you more. Silverstreeny, I think, has a fire up her butt now, like with Ben Goddard giving her the team that she deserves and the run that Ben Goddard got. I think it's only going to push Rachel to do even better. I think it's maybe not her year, but she's definitely pushing forward that something she should have done before but never had the support. Now she has it. Watch out.
No, that's fair. And I think I'm in a position where I like Silverstreeny as a character, but it's what are you gonna do for me when the chips are down? And we're all talking about she's got these people in her corner. Ben Goddard's really helping her out that solidifier under her. I need to see that before I can believe it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the Schmoedown is a game where character can only take you so far. This isn't the world of professional wrestling where you're going to get a push from your character work. It really depends on your skill.
Well, Andrew Guy's in a number 1 contenders match.
Yeah, but Andrew Guy improved his game.
That's
Andrew Guy
true.
got better.
He did, but just
not at that
doesn't. Wow, it's debatable. But if I told you you're going to get a title match for beating Robert Meyer, or you're going to get a number 1 contenders match for losing to John Roca and then beating Robert Meyer Burnett, you would laugh at me.
No, fair enough. But it's just yeah, he's a great character, but no, he's gotten better. That's the thing. Like teaming with McWeeny really was a good thing for him.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
And I'm a big Andrew Guy fan, so I don't. Please, Action Army for life.
Me too.
Don't come at me.
He's a Vancouver Canucks fan, so I'm definitely behind him all the way.
Well. Looks like I'm not a fan of his anymore.
Go.
All right,
No,
Dave.
Shania.
What's your
All
last
right.
one, Dave?
My last pick is KO versus Perry Nemiroff.
Oh man,
Okay.
I feel bad for Perry.
Yeah,
I do. I do feel bad for Perry, but the fact that Perry in the Jurassic Park match said, "You know what? If it's Jurassic Park, I'll play, but other than that, I don't know if I'm interested." But then Koi was able to be like, "Come play, you can do it, come play." There is something that Koi did for her that got her interested enough to play in this match, or in this league, in this tournament, and commit to doing this, where she may have rediscovered her love of the game, because she was very a couple seasons or 3 seasons ago now. Wow, it has been a while. She was very involved. She was in singles matches. She was in teams matches. Yeah. She was doing amazing stuff. And I think, and the knowledge was always there. But KO, one word away from playing against Oyama, has wins over Bateman, Roca, Josh McCouga.
Yep.
Former teams champion, beating the Shire Wolves. Well, yeah, I was trying to keep it in.
Fair enough.
Regular league play, but yeah, but matches against some really great players, and I don't know if Perry has what it takes, but we've seen KO not perform well in the past, and if he has been studying maybe too much Inner Geekdom, who knows if he's ready for this?
You know, I'd agree with you, but that KO doesn't exist anymore. The KO you're referencing where you've seen him stumble, that was a different man.
Mm-hmm.
That and the momentum of Chance in Inner Geekdom, the fire that Chance seems to have now, I think it's infectious, and I think that Corruption needs KO to perform, and KO is good under pressure and that kind of pressure. So his partner influencing him in his desire, and Corruption really needing this win, I think KO's he's a wounded animal, and you don't he gets dangerous.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed about him is like he had the run of a lifetime a couple years ago when he went all the way through the tournament and the whole Mara thing. But you know what? He's taken his game right to the next level, which I never thought was possible. Watching him in his interviews, watching him how he's playing, the dude is on fire. He's got his second win, man. He's not he's someone you're gonna have to get out of the way, or you're gonna get hit by the train.
Yeah. I really was just trying to play the contrarian there. I really think this is KO's, because I'm glad that I waited. I'm glad that I got to hold this match for last. I was afraid you guys were going to snatch it up, because I want to talk about just the implications of this. Mike's doing very well in Inner Geekdom right now. Yeah. He has a team's title match in August against the Founding Fathers, a team he's beaten twice. I'm looking at that bracket. He has a very favorable road to the semifinals. Mm-hmm. Are we looking at Mikey 3 belts to end 2020?
And anything is possible. It really is nowadays.
I say 70% no, 30% yes.
That's a lot higher than I thought you were going to say. Oh my.
Yeah. Okay. Well. In that case, we can switch to the second question I wanted to ask. For me personally, I think we're going to see Mike Kalinowski versus the Barbarian in the finals, and it's a coin toss between Barbarian and KO. I don't know who's going to win between those two, but he definitely is able to do a lot of damage, and his bracket is, like I said, it's a clear path to semifinals, and even personally to the finals, unless it's like, Roca, and even then, right? So yeah, he's on top of there. For you guys, who do you think is going to be in the finals on both sides?
I'll let you go with that one first, David. I got to mull over that one just for a minute.
That's all right. No, he was telling me to go first.
Okay.
Even though I just said, can we see Mikey 3 belts? I don't have Mike in my finals.
Okay.
I have I filled out a bracket and I called it a reverse IG situation where I have Chance Ellison and Paulo Yama playing in the finals.
Damn. Okay.
And Paulo Yama, I think, will be the guy that takes out Mike Kalinowski. I said he had a pretty clear road to the semis. I meant to say the quarters. And I think Paulo Yama is a strong guy. If you listen to him talk on anything, he was embarrassed by the way he played, and he was angry, and he was upset with how he played against Bateman. I think even in that one match he had in IG, you can tell that he's still very smart. He's studying. He's in those matches with final exam. The change in his character and being with Winston now, I think that's going to be the thing that pushes him over the edge and gets him back to the title contention. And Chance Ellison, people have been saying it. Chance Ellison, comeback player of the year between his IG run, his singles. Well, I guess it's hard to call him comeback player of the year when he was team's champion last year, but he's got all the momentum in the world, and I think he thrives on being a team's player. And I think we will see Paulo Yama versus Chance Ellison in the finals, and I don't know who takes it, honestly.
All right,
you're gonna look at me a little weird, but I'm gonna predict Mike Kalinowski versus Lon Harris.
I don't think there's anything weird about that.
No, not at all.
Because looking at the bracket, you think Kalinowski has an easier time? Lon Harris has got a pretty easy time on his end of the bracket.
Lon Harris,
it's all rookies. It's all rookies.
He potentially plays Roca or Merle in his second match.
Oh yeah. Well, it's still either way. That's still pretty. Yeah. Okay. So say if one of those guys were to fair. Okay. Fair enough. But
I think here's the thing.
Could easily take it.
I think he could, because you look back at his matches in the teams tournament 2 years ago. The Harris brothers ran all the way to the end of the tournament, took out some major players there, and even his match with Final Exam earlier this year, very very strong.
Yeah.
Also, the delinquent.
I know I said earlier, and I know I said earlier, character work can only take you so far, but I find that his change in character has benefited his performance. His knowledge. I don't want to say his knowledge, but the way he plays the game, I think it's definitely benefited him for the better.
Yep. All right. So that being said, any final thoughts on the tournament itself, or anything you guys want to add?
Just we're in for a hell of a time. Like I recently said to a friend, COVID was a horrible thing, but man, it gave us an embarrassment of riches that we didn't expect. So yeah, we're in for a hell of a time with this tournament.
Yeah, and I can't wait to have the same feeling I had seeing Ace go to the finals and no one expected. I can't wait to be surprised and have that excitement for Schmoedown that I've always had, but it feels good to see such a grandiose tournament like we've never seen before. There's so many things that's going to happen that's probably going to blow our minds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be the tournaments are always my favorite time of the year. And this is no exception. And looking at these, I think we're just going to, and 4 matches a week. I don't know how we're going to cover it.
Lots and lots of caffeine.
Dave, I am working on cloning ourselves for the last 2 weeks. It's, I'm not even close.
I thought you were raising a baby.
Who says the baby's not my clone? But female.
Oh my God.
Love you too, Soda. All right, so look, we're becoming stupid. It's midnight 17. That explains. So that being said, I think we're gonna cut it here. Hey, again, Soda, thank you very much. Dave, thank you very much to be on the show. Before we go, where can the people find you, Dave?
Oh, you can find me at Leaves Me Alone on Twitter and at Baby James Lees on Instagram and everywhere else that I usually mention, but it's late.
Yes, you Soda.
And let's see, the usual Soda _ Saxman on Twitter and Instagram. Running the Media Sweaties Network. You can find me competing in fan leagues. You can find me on the Schmoes North Facebook page. You can pretty much find me all over now. Yeah, I'm like herpes. I don't go away.
Don't cut that. Please don't cut that. That being said, you can find me.
Wrap it up.
You can find me at Schmoes on Twitter. I love how we talk about Schmoedown. You can have contact with me there. If not, you can find me in bed because I'm tired and I'm starting to find Soda funny. So you know I have to sleep. Bye bye.
Hey.
Bye.